Good morning, everyone, and I'm kind of feeling like Groundhog's Day today. Second verse is same as the first. So this is our second day of Triple B&E, and I'm packing my lunch, and I'm doing this just for accountability and to show you guys everything I'm eating. Of course, I have my fat coffee with the butter and the egg, just like I showed you yesterday. I have water with ice and electrolyte drops. I did an electrolyte capsule this morning and my K2D3, I just took those. And in my lunchbox, I'm doing baggy bacon and egg bites. So this is exactly what I took yesterday. I have to keep this as simple as possible, and that's what helps keep me on track. The more I try to change things up and complicate things, the harder it gets for me. Right now, that is what we're doing, and I'll be back with you guys to show you dinner later. What's that? Inquiring minds want to know.
I thought this was my mug shot.
No. First of all, how are you feeling today compared to yesterday?
I feel a little bit better today than I did yesterday. Not a lot. Slept fantastic last night, except I woke up around 12:30 feeling like I had to go to the bathroom. It ended up being a false alarm. But other than that, I was out like a light. And I felt good when I got up. And then I had a little rough patch during the day, but I feel okay right now. Still don't feel great, but I feel better.
Did you take your electrolyte tablet that I left for you? Okay.
I took both of the tablets that you left.
Well, I also gave him a K2D3 tablet.
What was the blue pill for?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, like I'd give you that and then you'd go to work. That'd be terrible. Anyway, you can take another one with dinner, and I think that will help.
Just another electrolyte tablet?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people are definitely thinking that it's like the keto flu because you've been eating off plan and then going back on plan and not getting any electrolytes. And so anyway, second question, how did you like your egg bites?
No, those were really good. The only issue, if I had one, is I forgot to take like salt or a seasoned salt because I like to do that.
Something, because I didn't season them at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot. So they weren't bland. They were eggs with bacon in them. So they were
right.
fine. But yeah.
And I'm fine just to eat them plain, but of course, anytime you add seasoned salt or something like that, they always taste better. Yeah. And finally, what did you have for lunch today?
I had leftover dinner last night because last night, as you know, I was not really that hungry, did not eat very much. So today I took my leftovers, which was the
steak and eggs
with eggs, and I also ate a pack of baggy bacon, and of course I drank my delicious and refreshing water.
Tonight's dinner, we each will have 2 half-pound burgers, so a pound apiece, and then we're gonna fry up eggs to put, well, I put my eggs on top. Mike doesn't like his on top, he just likes them on the side. But we're each having 2 burgers and 2 fried eggs. You putting bacon on yours, babe?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Mike will have bacon. I probably won't. I had baggy bacon today and I'm good with that. So here's the finished product, guys. I have my 2 burgers with my eggs on top, and Mike has 2 burgers with bacon and the 2 eggs on the side. That's it for day 2. I'll make sure he takes his electrolyte tablet too. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Friday. It is Friday, November 3rd. It is day 3 of our mini Triple B&E challenge. So I just wanted to, again, show you what I'm having today, what I'm making. It is already 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have not broken my fast yet. I went to help my mother and father-in-law this morning. Then I had an appointment to get my oil changed in my car. Then I ran to the store real quick to get advent calendars for my granddaughters. I give them an advent calendar every year at on Thanksgiving. I knew Aldi that's where I've always gotten my advent calendars, but the last time I was there, they didn't have them out yet. So Jen Delaney had posted on Facebook that she got advent calendars. I asked her where she got them. She said Aldi, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was there. They didn't have them yet. So after my nail appointment, I ran over to Aldi and they had them. Let me show you real quick. I got each of the girls one of these Paw Patrol advent calendars this year. Last year I got them Disney princess books. I get them both the same because otherwise if you get two different ones, they end up arguing over, well, I want that one. So it's just easier for me to get them two of the same. So last year they had opened each little window and each one had a little book in it, which was great. But this year we went with Paw Patrol. So I went and picked those up after I left my oil change appointment. And then I had to come home because I am starting dinner. We are having a roast with Egg Life wrap noodles tonight. So I got the roast in and I put that in with some bone broth. This is the bone broth that I'm using. This is the cleanest bone broth that I was able to find. And just cooking a roast in water just doesn't have enough flavor. The ingredients in this is beef bone broth, natural flavor, yeast extract, and sea salt. That's all that's in here. So that was the cleanest one that I could find. So I will show you really quick. I did put this on for about an hour or two last night just to get it started. And now I have it cooking so it will be ready when Mike and I get home from work this evening. Here we have the roast in the bone broth. We are just going to let this go all day and hopefully the meat will be nice and tender and shred up when we get home and I can add the noodles. I only put the Egg Life wrap noodles in for about the last hour. You don't want them to cook too long and you don't want to boil them. So they come out perfect usually if I have them in there for about an hour. And usually you guys know I eat on the go. I eat in the car while I'm working. But since I had to come home anyway, I decided to go ahead and warm up my food and just eat here really quick. So I have bacon, yum. And I have 4 of those egg bites. I'm super hungry. I don't know if it's because I waited longer to break my fast, but I went ahead and made 4 of them. I also have a fat coffee, which I added about 3 tablespoons of butter to today. So I even upped my fat in my coffee this afternoon, which I haven't had yet. Anyway, that's it, guys. We will show you guys dinner later. So it looks like the edge of my pot got a little scorched here, but basically you guys can see that this is what we have. This is the beef with the Egg Life wrap noodles. I'm getting ready to sit down and eat now. So I just sat down to eat. Mike has already eaten. I'm getting home late tonight. It's almost 9 o'clock. And
that's normal for us when it comes to videos.
But I got a late start today, so I worked a little bit later, so I'm just now getting home. I showed you guys I have roast with the noodles, and I also put some butter on mine because I like it to have that extra buttery flavor. And then something else I absolutely love on my roast is the Redmond smoked salt. This just enhances the flavor so much. It's one of my favorite things to have on roast. So
I just had regular Redmond salt on mine. I didn't use any of the flavored stuff. I thought about it, but I love roast and it just tastes so good. The
smoked salt, though, it just takes roast to another level. It's just so good. And if you guys want to try this, we are affiliates with Redmond. There is a link down below. You will get, I think it's a 15% off discount.
I have no idea about Redmond's.
Yeah, I think it's 15% off, but let me just give this a taste real quick. What'd you think of the roast?
The roast is fantastic.
It's so
That's
good.
what I'm saying. I didn't really need anything. I put regular salt on it just for a little bit of flavor.
I'm telling you, man, that smoked salt, oh, it is so good on a roast.
Yeah, we got enough. We're gonna be eating roast for a couple days, which is fine with me. More roast, less hamburgers.
I could eat hamburgers again. This is kind of reminiscent of Dinner with Dawn.
No, they're meals with Mike. We've already had this discussion. Hashtag more meals with Mike.
So this is just wrapping up what I had today. You guys saw. I'm not sure. I think you had. Oh my goodness.
No, we're not going to
You
wrap
had
like that.
leftover hamburgers. He did not eat all his hamburgers at dinner. I did last night, so he took his for lunch today.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. So we each had 2 half-pound burgers. Mm-hmm. That's a pound of burgers.
And 2 eggs.
And 2 eggs. Mm-hmm. And water. I ate like 2/3 of my first burger and that was it.
I ate all mine. You guys know I can eat a lot of food.
It's not that I can't eat a lot of food. I can't eat hamburgers, plain old hamburgers. I mean, we season up our burgers regardless of whether we're having plain or with cheese and bacon and barbecue sauce or steak sauce. And not having that, burgers just don't hit the spot. So I struggle with it. That's why I had to take...
But see, I was never really a red meat eater before keto. Chicken was actually my favorite thing to have. But I've learned to appreciate red meat more, but I still just like ground beef better than like steaks. Like if you gave me my option and been like, here, you can have a half-pound burger or you can have a steak, I'm probably going to take the burger.
Yeah, well, you take the burger, I'll take the steak. We'll both be happy because look, hamburgers for me have to be prepared a certain way with certain things on them, cheese, you know that, and that's what makes them the best. Just a plain burger with some seasoned salt on it, I can do it, but it doesn't hit the spot. So I didn't eat all mine.
So
I took
are
it to
we
lunch.
doing burgers tomorrow?
No. We have enough roast to last us probably the weekend, so no, we're not doing burgers tomorrow or Sunday or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. We're gonna push it off as long as we can.
We're gonna have to do burgers this week.
We're gonna push it off as long as we can.
Okay, so anyway, just to kind of give you guys a little recap, I guess Mike, for the lack of a better term, had a rough evening. So first of all, he has two vehicles. He has a car, which is like an older, what we call like a beater car that he uses when he goes out and door dashes. He'll drive it back and forth to work.
And I drive it back and forth to work.
Then he also has a new truck, a newer truck. It's a 2022, right?
Yeah.
That we use if we need to haul the camper. Sometimes we'll drive it places, but mostly we drive my car.
Well, yeah, because it's not good on gas, and
right.
It's
so
a lease.
His truck is mostly for pulling the camper.
Pulling the camper, right.
So the older car, which is a Hyundai Sonata, needed brakes. So he had made an appointment to take it up today and drop it off.
It's a 2010. We bought it. We own it. It has 214,000 miles on it. We
call it the Tank Nada because it just keeps going.
It just keeps going. And it's been through 2 kids learning how to drive and driving it and beating it up. It's been through Ohio winters. I mean, it's been a great car. It's also never given us any major maintenance issues.
Yeah.
We've never really had any major issues with the car. So you still have to put money in it. You got to keep it running, and that's what I'm doing. I do that. Well, we came to a point in time where some things needed to be done. The brakes, obviously, were one of those things. Had the brakes done last November actually, and it's now November, the beginning of November this year, so 1 year, 13,000 miles later. So that's pretty average. I mean, 12,000 miles is typical for most people.
Typical for a year, yeah.
So 13,000 is not that big a deal. The brakes already feel like they're starting to grind again, like they're wearing down, and I don't drive it enough for that to happen. So I called the guy that does our car maintenance and stuff, and he's like, yeah, those are under warranty, so you bring them right in. We'll take care of it. So I had to take the car up there today because I wanted to get it up there as soon as possible.
So you got off work and you did that first, or did you go help your mom and dad?
No, I got off work, helped my mom, went and got gas in the car, so had enough gas to get up there and, wouldn't have to worry about it later. And then we went up there. My son followed me up, drove me back home, and then I got in the truck, fired it up, and I was going to go dash. And I logged in to DoorDash and backed out of the garage, and it was just, now this is a 2022 brand new truck, backed it out of the garage, and it was just rumbling and vibrating, and it did not sound good, and I don't know what the deal is with it, but I tried to go make a delivery. I got to the location to pick up, but I couldn't go any further. It just would not go.
He called me and he's like, there's something wrong with the truck, and we just dropped the car off. Normally we would have had like a backup.
Right.
We had literally
My
just
backup
dropped the car
fixed.
off for brakes to be done, and those usually take at least a few days for them to do them and get
Friday,
it back to us.
so they're open tomorrow. I won't get it back till Monday probably.
Right. So he was like, normally we have 2 cars, now we have 0 cars.
So I called the dealership, and they said, because we live pretty close to the one that we leased from, and they said, yeah, we're open till 6. It was about 10 after 5, and they said, yeah, we're open till 6, so, and if you can get it up here. So I slowly but surely made my way across town.
He said he barely got it up to the dealership.
Long story shorter than it was going to be. It's there now, but they're not even going to look at it till Monday probably.
Right.
For the first time, and I can't even tell you when, I don't have a car.
I don't have a vehicle for the weekend.
So what I'll probably do
is... to boot, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but today is Mike's mom and dad's anniversary.
Oh, yeah, so there's a little side story there.
And Mike's mom had already asked him ahead of time. They wanted to, obviously they can't go out because Mike's dad is bedridden, but they wanted to have a special dinner for their anniversary. So they had already asked Mike, hey, would you mind going, if we order a meal, would you go pick it up for us? And he had had said yes. And then now here he is. He has no car.
Yeah, so I'm calling my mom and I'm like, here's the situation. And I explained it to her and I said, I will see what I can do. But in the meantime, I called my youngest brother and asked if he could bail me out on that because of the situation. He said, well, let me know and we'll see what we can do. Thankfully, this is one of those times when I'm thankful that my daughter and future son-in-law still live at home. Because
they were going out to dinner.
They were going out to
themselves.
dinner. They each have their own car. Obviously, they're only taking one car. So they left. But like 2 minutes after they pulled out of the driveway, I realized, hey, I could borrow one of their cars. But
and still take mom and dad dinner.
I had to call them and they had to come back and drop my daughter's car off. They went out to dinner in her fiance's car. And then I took her car, made the delivery. And then
like we're doing DoorDash.
Well, yeah. And then I was going to DoorDash, but my daughter said no. She said, Dad, do not DoorDash in my car because A, my tires are bad.
She needs new tires.
And B, I need the car when we get home. So
yeah, it's not because she was just being like, don't use my car.
Well, she kind of was.
But she has been saying she didn't, the other day, Tuesday, she and I ran errands all day and she didn't want to drive her car because she needs new tires. She has an appointment to get new tires put on, but they haven't been put on yet. And so it's been making her a little bit nervous. Yeah. So that's why she didn't want you to go out and DoorDash.
More rain and then you got leaves on the streets.
The chance of snow.
And then we've had snow already. Yeah. So yeah, it's been an interesting day. But the nice thing about it is that A, we're always provided for. Provisions are always made. We have been so blessed in that sense.
Yeah, it always works out.
So even though I don't have a car for work on Monday, I work with my future son-in-law. So he'll just stay here Sunday night and then he'll take me to work in the morning.
And we still have my car. So like we have plans tomorrow night. Obviously we're not carless.
Right. We're not carless, but we both can't do something separately. We both can't dash at the same time. And that reminds me, so I normally dash on the weekends on Saturday and Sunday. I'll dash Saturday morning and then I'll dash Sunday morning while she's sawing logs.
Because I don't get up early ever. Our daughter and son-in-law are
they're standing behind the camera.
You
can't see them.
Yeah, they're getting ready to leave. We were just saying how mean you were because you wouldn't let Dad use your car.
$3 peak pay and she wouldn't let me dash. Christmas is going to be thin this year.
Especially for a certain girl. So that's it, guys. We just kind of wanted to sit down, show you our dinner, because that's basically what these vlogs are about during Triple B&E. But just kind of tell you about our day, because it's been kind of crazy.
Just one of those days, but you know what? You just got to take a deep breath.
And I'm having a second helping of food.
And that's fine. That's wonderful, because it's good. You want to be full. You want to be satiated. I finally found a way to use that word again. It's been a while since we used satiated, but there it is. So yeah, it was an interesting day. Not a bad day, but we'll carry on. Like
my day started off, and I don't know if I said this earlier, so I'm just going to mention it again in case I didn't. But I had an appointment to get my oil changed today, and I went to the wrong dealership from where the appointment was. So I show up there today and they're like, you don't have an appointment. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I have a confirmation text. And I show it to them and they're like, that's this dealership.
That's for a different location.
It's not us. And I was like, oh man. So.
But again, no fret. They worked her in. She got it done. It took a little bit longer than it probably would have normally had her appointment been valid, but she got it in, got it out. And that's the important thing.
Yeah. And that's why my day got started late. I think I did mention this because I didn't get to eat lunch till like after 1 today. I was hungry for dinner, but not like dying because I had eaten a late lunch and I ate a little bit more for lunch than I normally do. So that's it, guys. That's all of our food for day 3. We're just moving right along. I told you guys before, my son and daughter-in-law are also doing Triple B&E with us. So he stopped home with his dad to drop him off and came in and had some of our roast, and I think he really enjoyed it.
I want to share a little quick story here about our son and our daughter-in-law. So we were discussing Triple B&E because, it's a challenge and it's a difficult challenge. And we were talking about it and he was saying how it just feels like this time is a lot harder than it was the first time. He said, we're only a couple days in and I'm already ready to throw in the towel and just go back to eating because I just can't do it. And I said, yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. I said, this is not the same this time around as it was. It's for a shorter duration, but it just doesn't feel the same. Like I feel like this is a bigger struggle now than it was the first time. And we were just discussing how we have all these things around us. Here at the house, we basically don't have any temptations. the couple things that we had, I have put away out of sight, out of mind, so that we're not seeing them every day. But my son and his girlfriend, they got 2 small children. So they have stuff all over the place and they just had trick or treat. And he made a comment to me about that. He said, I'm not really a big candy eater. Never have been.
But it's looking
He
mighty
goes,
good.
but now every time I walk by their buckets full of candy, he goes, I just want to reach in there and start eating. And he said they have a giant thing of ice cream in their freezer that he goes, it's vanilla. He goes, I never eat vanilla ice cream, but man, does it look good now.
Keep in mind that they don't normally eat keto.
No. So yeah, they're going to struggle. I get that.
So it's going to be a lot harder for them.
But again,
it should be for us.
Yeah, their environment is just different than ours because they have small children. But I told him, look, I said, I agree. And I said, for me, really, the biggest difficulty I'm having right now is that I'm drinking plain water. I can't even have my flavored water. If I could drink something with flavor in it, that would make the rest of this a piece of cake. I'm already so sick of drinking water, I can't even tell you, because I don't drink water. Not like that. It's been a struggle already. I mean, I have it, but I don't want it.
That's what's in here.
I'd rather, put my flavoring in so that I can at least know that I'm getting something that's going to taste good going down.
All right, that's it, guys. We've been rambling long enough, so I'm going to cut this off. I think I'll include maybe tomorrow, like one more day in this vlog. It'll be day 2, 3, and 4. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good evening.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. It is day 4 of our Triple B&E challenge, our mini Triple B&E challenge. Mike got up and went and helped his mom and dad this morning, and he went out and dashed, and I was able to sleep in a little bit, which is nice. But now it's my turn. I'm getting ready to go out and work. But before I leave, I just wanted to show you guys really quick. I made myself 5 scrambled eggs with some butter and some Redmond seasoned salt on top. And I have my coffee, and I'll also take some water, obviously, with some electrolytes. But Mike and I have a couple things we are doing later tonight. We have a birthday party that we are going to for a friend of mine. Her son is turning 16. And then we are going to head to a friend's house. They're having a euchre tournament. We're not going to be in the euchre tournament because we'll be late, but we're going to go over and surprise them and hang out because we told them we couldn't make it.
Oh, hey. How's everyone doing? She wasn't going to let me be in the video, but
I wasn't going to let you.
I had to pretend like I forgot she was videotaping and then walk in.
What are you eating?
I'm eating bacon.
Oh, okay. So that was what I was going to talk about, was that we need to eat before we go tonight. Because obviously this is a social situation. There's going to be food at both events.
And it's going to be bad.
Yeah, and it's going to be really hard to not eat. And not eat any of the stuff that they have there. I made that roast yesterday. I put some in a bowl. My son called earlier and asked if we could drop some off to my daughter-in-law because she didn't have anything for lunch. They have dinner taken care of tonight, but she didn't have anything for lunch and he's working. So he asked if I could take some of this roast over there for her, which I totally don't mind doing, but that doesn't leave a lot of roast for us for tonight. So Mike is gonna eat the rest of the roast for dinner before we go, and I'm just gonna have hamburgers. So I'm gonna take those out so that we can have those before we go, because I don't mind having hamburgers. So right now that's the plan. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update, and I think after today I'll go ahead and put out this vlog, so it'll be a 3-day showing of like what we've been eating for the last few days. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Mike actually just ended up not scrambling. How are these cooked? They're fried. Mike ended up frying up a few eggs for himself as well. It is a little bit after 5 and we are getting ready to head out for the evening, but I just wanted to show you guys what we're having before we go out. So this will be the last thing that we eat today. Hopefully it will help us resist any temptations at the 2 places that we are going tonight. I am just doing 2 half-pound hamburgers with mustard. And Mike is actually finishing off the roast. I did talk to my daughter-in-law and she ate the roast that I took over to her earlier and she said it was very good, so I'm glad she liked it. So this birthday party was at a racetrack, which was a great time, but of course they had tons of food. Sorry, the video's kind of crazy. Mike took that, but there were cupcakes, chips, and fruit and veggies and sandwiches, which just doing keto, I could have done the veggies, maybe some berries, and taken the meat off of the sandwiches. But being on BBB&E, we had nothing. We left the birthday party and headed to our friend's house where they were having the euchre tournament, and again we're faced with a ton of temptations, as you can see. Once again, if we were just doing keto, there were definitely options. We could have had cheese, we could have had meatballs, but again we stayed strong. We just got home. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, but we gain an hour tonight, right?
Yeah, but it's still 1 o'clock in the morning. What are we doing out? We're too old for this kind of stuff.
We are too old for this. But you guys, I've recorded and showed you a little bit of like the temptation that we had to deal with tonight.
Which, by the way, is all her fault, okay? It's all your fault.
Why?
Because you took us to these temptations. You knew we were doing BBB.
I knew when we started BBB&E, we already had these on the calendar.
No, only one of them and not two of them. And you said, oh, let's go to the other one because, we wanted to see our friends. But we knew they were going to have a spread.
But I'm very happy to report that we stayed on plan. Yeah. We did it. We made it through the night.
I know we did.
And don't you feel better for it?
No, I don't. Yeah. My taste buds disagree with you.
When you go to bed feeling yucky, you're like, why did I do that? And tonight you don't have to worry about that. You're going to go to bed feeling good.
You say so.
So that's it for this video, guys. We are going to wrap up after day 4. And I hope you guys come back for the next set of days. We'll see you in the next one.
Good night.
Night.